Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again, and today I'm doing what is clearly the most fair battle of all time. We have a 20 or 30 something year old computer versus that. The newest computer pretty much of all time, except not really, because it was released last summer. But nonetheless, it still has a 4th generation Core i7, 8GB of RAM, and a GTX 765M. This has a Intel 386 processor with a turbo speed of 33 megahertz. So, yep, this has a 750 gigabyte hard drive, 7200 RPM, and this has two 300 megabyte hard drives that spin at about 3000. Windows 7, Windows 3.1. Something tells me this isn't a fair fight, but this has a lot of stuff on it, but so does that. I guess we're just gonna have to see which one kicks which's butt to figure out which one really wins. I'm gonna let each one of them go through their full boot process, and I'm gonna turn this light off. This has a memory test to go through, which will count. This has 7.8 megabytes of RAM. That's already at the starting Windows. Still doing the memory test. Oh look, it's already at the login screen. This is still doing the memory test. There's the window sound. I need to put in my passcode, so I'll let you stare at this. I hope I typed it in right. Kind of hard to do with one hand. This just went through both boot options. That's the confirmation beep. Confirmation, whatever. And we're at the desktop, but I have side extensions to load up. And then I have another thing to load up. So it's kind of neck and neck, except not really at all. Maybe here's the reason why. It was at 8 megahertz, not 33. Probably won't do much. We'll try again. How's that? We're gonna do, let's say, a shutdown speed test. This actually shows the side extensions to load up. You can hear the hard drives roaring. Windows 3.1. All I have to do is come up to the desktop, and once the program manager loads up, this will be fully booted. And we're still waiting on the extensions to load on this. Poke. The extensions have loaded, but there's a temperature reader for the extensions, and it must be on for it to be fully booted. Meanwhile here, or something, still not showing the temps. And this is now completely booted. Program Manager is up and ready to go. And this actually just did the temperatures. Which one won? Let's do a shutdown test. What I need to do with this is go up to here and hit exit Windows, so that when I hit yes on the thing here and then hit shutdown up on here, it will be more of a fair fight. Shut down, and now hit OK. And now it's ready to be shut down. Still shutting down. A clear winner.
Derp 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 derp.
Okay, I know the last fight wasn't fair at all, so this is in turbo speed, and this will be in 3.4 gigahertz speed. Let's see which will win. Again, full boot test, so if you're wondering, yes, this is in high power setting, so it's as good as it can get. This is almost done counting up at 7 megabytes of RAM, or close to 8. Just got done counting the memory, now it's time for it to log in. Almost. It's going to the boot options now. If you have a diskette in either one of these, it will load up that first. I'm going to need to put in my passcode. That's the confirmation beat. It's welcoming us now. Thank you very much. If you're wondering, this is a fully defragmented hard drive, so it's as good as it can get. And this, it's, well, 90 years old. 1990. You can't see that. No, you can. 1990. That's the date of this BIOS. Still welcoming us. You're holding the door an awfully long time, Windows. Windows 3.1. This just got to the desktop, but as you remember from the last video, it must load up the shot extensions. And this just has to load up the program manager. This is in 33 megahertz speed. And if you're wondering, this does have two hard drives. One full height and one half height. Both 3.5 inch. Which will be the victor? New or old? Take your bets now. Now, even though the SATA extensions will load up, they still need to have the temperature reader monitoring them. And even so, they'll speed it. Even with me turning that one on first. A clear winner. The SATA extensions have yet to load up on that. There's more of a fair fight when there was an 8 megahertz speed. But with the push of a button, I can activate full turbo speed. Some of the extensions have loaded up, but as you know from the last video, the temperature reader must be on. It's not reading them right now. So, I don't know, Office. There we go, it's finally done loading up. You're so slow. I need a new computer. When really, you could just get away with this. I actually never saw what size hard drives these have. I saw one had a 343 megabyte or something like that. I'm just gonna close this to not show its embarrassment. The cool thing that this one does have though is lights. It looks pretty. And here's the message to the newest laptop. You lose. What a shame. Let's look at how big the hard drive is on this. More Windows. Print Manager, Windows Setup, WinSpeed. WinSpeed shows us the speed and specs of the processor. Now it says in IBM, I guess, even though it clearly says Antec on it. Accessory system, utilities, that's not going to show us much. System edit, don't want to do that. Antivirus, It's not like this thing had internet back then. I don't think it even has a LAN or even a modem card in it. Control panel. Because apparently everything's in here now. 386 enhanced, drivers, sound. No, that's just that. Surprising, it doesn't show us the hard drive size or anything. File manager, probably not going to have anything. Here we go. It actually does show us now. This apparently has a few drives in it. Drive C is a 128 megabyte drive. I assume that's the full height. This 2 is a 330 megabyte. It wasn't 400, but apparently it also has this extra 80 megabytes on standby, so it would be about 400, I guess. I don't know. I'm just going to shut this down now. As you remember from before, as soon as it gets to here, I always wait for the hard drive to spin down a little bit, and then shut it off. And yep, that's the end of this video. I hope you weren't bored to death. Thanks, Game Boy out. See you next time.